The Institute for Democratic Education, in cooperation with the Boston University Radio Institute, presents another program in its series, Lest We Forget These Great Americans, stories of Americans who will never die. These Great Americans, starring Myron McCormick as Joseph Goldberger. A series of programs designed to bring you the stories of men and women who dedicated their lives to the principles set down by America's founders that all men are created equal. Today, the scene somewhere in the Pacific. The time, now, today, tomorrow, any time.
Mamma mia, that was too close. Santa Maria, I'm bleeding. First aid over here. First aid, you hear?
On my way, pal. Just stay flat, don't move.
Hurry, you hear? Hurry.
Travel isn't what it used to be back in the States, brother. They weren't kidding when they said an army travels on its stomach. Where are you hit, kid?
I don't know. It hurts all over.
Yeah, you got it good, all right. Here, swallow this pill. Sulfur prevents infection. Yeah, you're going to be okay, pal, or my name ain't Al Goldberger.
Goldberger? It's familiar to me. I remember it from someplace. My mother in Puerto Rico, she told me of Goldberger. I don't remember. It's hard to think. A lawyer, a doctor. She said he was a man who helped her people.
Take it easy, kid. Don't try to think. We're bracketed here by Jap fire. Can't get back to the aid station till they stop throwing that stuff at us.
What is Goldberger who helped my mother's people? Did you know him?
Yeah, I know him. Everybody knows Joseph Goldberger. They know him whether they know his name or not. Don't do anything. Just lie back and take it easy. I'll tell you about Doc Goldberger, because I think guys like us, we ought to know about him. He was a medic, sort of like me, only a lot smarter. A college guy with degrees that had reached from here to Tokyo, but that came later. To begin with, he was an immigrant, maybe like your people and mine. He came to the States from Europe when he was 7, and he lived on the Lower East Side of New York with a lot of other poor people with names like Goldberger and Cortez and Svoboda and O'Shaughnessy. He was one of those people, and as long as he lived, he never forgot that he was one of them. Joe Goldberger was a fighter. He fought his way up out of the slums. He saw books, knowing things, as weapons. And when at last he was admitted to medical school, he discovered that there was another weapon that could be used for the good of the people. It was...
Curiosity. Curiosity, my son. How will this curiosity help you to be a doctor, Joseph?
Look, Mother. Did you see this little square of glass?
Yes.
What do you see on it?
Nothing, just a little drop of water, Joseph.
Now I put it under the microscope.
Yes.
I adjust the lens and look at it now, Mother. Through the lens of the microscope.
Why should I look? There's nothing there. But if you say I should, Joseph...
Can you see them now, Mother?
No, I can't. Oh, no. No, it cannot be. The water, Joseph, it is filled with bugs.
They're harmless. But why are they harmless when other bugs that look just the same are deadly? Don't you see, Mother? We drink this water and we live. Other people drink water and they die. I want to know why, Mother.
But asking questions, Joseph, looking into magnifying machines, this is no life for a grown man.
It's my life, Mother. Oh, I'm sorry. I know how proud you'd be of me if I had an office and a practice. How you and Dad would boast to everybody that your son was the best doctor in the neighborhood.
My son, many people go through life with their hearts aching, not knowing why they live, why they are here. And that is bad, Joseph. Your father and I, we are nobody.
Oh, Mother.
No, wait, Joseph, it is true. We are immigrants. We are poor of all things but you. You are our wealth, my son. You are why we are here. Whatever your life, it will be good if you know why you live. And it will be rich, Joseph, if you can make life better for other people through your work, through your questions and your magnifying machines.
I'm going to try, Mother. And someday, I promise, you will be proud.
So Joe Goldberger bought a funny little second-hand straw suitcase, stuffed it with his gear, and with 2 bits in his pocket, he took off to buck the world. 16 hours a day, he interned at a hospital. And on his own time, he studied and studied and studied. When his eyes were fogged from reading, he'd put them to work again on a microscope. And as the months passed, he formulated the motto that was to stand by him all his life.
Probe, listen, watch, note, test, record.
And then one day in 1898, well, there was a day kind of like a day we had in 1941.
Be it therefore enacted by this Congress that a state of war exists between the United States of America and the Kingdom of Spain. There's a letter for you here, Doc.
Oh, thanks, Frank. Why, it's from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the answer to my enlistment.
Yeah, but it's kind of official looking, too, ain't it?
Dear Dr. Goldberger, I'm happy to inform you that the returns of our recent examination show that you rank number 1 among all the candidates for the positions now open in this service. I shall expect to see you in Washington as soon as... And it's signed by the Surgeon General of the United States Marine Hospital Service.
Yeah, sounds mighty important, Doc.
It's more than that, Frank. This letter is my chance. My chance to keep a promise.
So Doc Goldberger started on a lifetime of work that brought a kind of freedom to people all over the world. Freedom from disease. In 1902, yellow fever was killing people by the thousands from Virginia to Mexico. Nobody knew much about it. But Joe Goldberger was determined to learn. The Surgeon General assigned him to Mexico.
Senor, these little boxes you build, what for?
To catch mosquitoes, my friend. Oh, shh. There's one heading for the trap now. I got him.
But why for should anybody wish to catch mosquitoes? Fleas, yes. Jumping beans, yes. But mosquitoes, no.
Hello there. You Dr. Goldberger?
Why, yes, I'm Goldberger.
I heard you were in the village. I'm Pastor Presley, the Protestant missionary here. I know of your work, and I'd like to help.
I am helping the senor already, Pastor. I am helping him untangle the mosquitoes. See?
I don't know what I'd do without you, Pedro. There is something you can do, Pastor Presley.
You don't look well, Doctor. Come along. My house is just across the road.
Thank you. Although I just arrived in this village, Pastor, I've been working on yellow fever research for some months. I think I've contracted the fever.
You should be in bed, Doctor.
I'll go presently. But before I do, I want to ask you to make me a promise.
Of course.
This is my chance to be my own guinea pig, Pastor. After I lose consciousness, I want you to take notes. Notes of any developments that may take place. If my blood pressure rises, make note of it. Follow my fever closely. Note any skin changes. Note everything, Pastor, even if it makes no sense.
I see.
If I recover, well, who knows? Your notes may help us wipe out yellow fever for good. I think I'd better be put to bed now.
But Dr. Goldberger recovered from the disease and went back to work. Through the next years, the wires from Washington hummed, always with orders for Dr. Joe.
Yellow fever epidemic, Puerto Rico. Report soon as possible.
Return Veracruz, Mexico. Epidemic of large proportions reported.
Plague reported, Laredo, Texas. Typhus epidemic, unparalleled proportions in Washington, D.C. Report headquarters immediately.
You see, Joe Goldberger was a soldier, traveling under orders to the fronts of disease. And his research, his reports from the front lines, helped beat enemies that had been plaguing man for centuries. And the results?
Yellow fever, controllable.
Dengue fever, controllable.
Typhoid, controllable.
But among the poor, there was another disease. It struck and killed, suddenly and painfully.
Who Oh, Dr. Thomas. Dr. Thomas.
What's going on down there?
It's my little boy, Dr. Tommy. He's sick. He's awfully sick. He can't swallow. He can't walk. His skin just burning up. You got to come and help him, Dr. Thomas.
But country doctors all over the South knew that they couldn't help that little boy. He'd been attacked by a disease that couldn't be understood, couldn't be cured. Pellagra. But a little man who was born in the poverty of Hungary came into the South and looked around.
Cotton. Miles and miles of cotton all over the South.
That's not our business, Dr. Goldberger. We're here to study pellagra, not cotton.
But where the fields are filled with cotton, there's pellagra. Coincidence, Wheeler? I don't think so.
Doc Goldberger found an answer, and that answer was...
Diet, gentlemen. In the South, the land is yielding cotton to the exclusion of the foods that the human body needs to be healthy.
But it's preposterous, Doctor. You presented this medical conference with a theory. We want proof.
I have proof, gentlemen. Wheeler.
Right, Doctor. Right out here, men. There's no need to be afraid.
Gentlemen, I'll let the proofs of my experiments speak for themselves. Mr. Eddy, what has been your diet for the last 6 months?
Well, sir, I've been eating eggs every day, milk, some meat, green vegetables, and bread.
And this man is as healthy as you and me. Now, the other subject of my experiment. His tongue is so swollen from pellagra that he can't speak. I'll tell you what his diet was. The diet that millions of pellagrans in the South eat themselves to death on. It's rice, sweet potatoes, cornbread, mush, and syrup. All carbohydrates with little or no animal protein elements. Is pellagra contagious? No. In my own veins, I've injected the blood of a pellagra, and, gentlemen, I have not contracted the disease.
Dr. Goldberger, how can we fight the disease, then?
Simple. The South is a land of farmers. Let these farmers grow cotton, yes, but let them also grow the stuff that means life. Vegetables will give them life. Meat will give them life. Milk will give them life. If these things are produced in the South, then Negro and white alike, rich and poor alike, will live. Because disease, gentlemen, unlike human beings, discriminates against no man.
Did you ever hear of vitamin G, pal? That's a pellagra preventative, and it was named in honor of Dr. Joseph Goldberger. But that isn't his greatest honor, I guess. In a way, I guess maybe the doctor would think that we were his greatest honor.
But how?
Well, like this. Take you. You got it in a battle, but you won't die. Yeah, we're in the tropics, but how much yellow fever is there among the GIs? How much typhoid? Not enough to make a ripple in a teacup. Doc Goldberger pointed the way, pal. A little guy from Hungary who started off to make his Jewish mother proud. And when he died, people wept all over the world because that guy didn't fight just for the Jews or the Catholics or the Protestants or the Negroes. He said that disease didn't discriminate. And in fighting disease, he battled for all men. When you think of it, pal, that's just what we're doing. We're fighting for an America and a world where everyone can have the things which make life worthwhile. A job, a home, a family.
Life, liberty, and happiness, eh?
Yep. For all. For all.
This program was brought to you by the Institute for Democratic Education in cooperation with the Boston University Radio Institute. Listen in again next week to another program of the 10th series of Lest We Forget, These Great Americans.